The institution celebrates its 150th anniversary. Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo is monitoring developments. And indeed, Ziyanda, you were standing by with the Minister of Higher Education, Nzimande, and he said a little bit earlier on that for today and tomorrow at least, let us speak about the good things that are happening at UNISA. While that may be so, we just spoke to the Student Representative Council at that institution. Some over 300,000 papers not being marked, less than 150,000 students making it who registered for the first time in 2022. We cannot ignore that.
We absolutely cannot ignore it, and I think the Minister is aware. And I must say, let's start off with asking about the significance of 150 years since the existence of UNISA, and juxtapose that with not only the entire landscape of institutions of higher learning in the country, but this one in particular, Minister. We've just gotten off the line with the SRC representative here at UNISA. Several concerns, but let's start off with commemorating this day.
It's a very important day. 150 years is really a huge milestone. From 1873, when UNISA was founded. It has subsequently played a very important role in our university system. Firstly, it gave birth to a lot of other universities in our system. It's the mother of our university system, if truth be told. Because a lot of universities started as university colleges under UNISA. So that has been a very important role. It's got more than 1 million alumni. I challenge UNISA that we need to count, not just say more than 1 million, how many exactly have graduated, how many have gone through UNISA. UNISA is also now our single largest university, possibly in the whole of the continent, and in South Africa it's got 1/3 of our university students. And also more than half of our teachers are produced by UNISA for our basic education system. So it's playing a hugely important role, and we really want to say congratulations. And UNISA must also, we say, serve another 150 years. You know, being a teaching institution, an institution of learning, being a research institution, being an institution that reaches out to communities, and being a center of innovation, to be quite honest. So we are saying congratulations and well done to UNISA. 150 is no small achievement at all, 150 years.
But we can't ignore the issues. You said today and tomorrow, let's not talk about it. Very difficult to ignore the issues. Week after week, we continuously hear and get reports on the challenges faced by this institution. That independent assessor's report, where are we when it comes to that? It raised several issues, including a dereliction of duty, not deliberately following, financial irregularities. Just yesterday, a report about 300,000 papers not being marked, 150,000 students not making it. It must be a concern for the mother of all universities. Maybe not a good example.
There is no conflict, Mango, in celebrating 150 years and at the same time addressing current challenges facing UNISA, and not hide them and surface them and then come with mechanisms to actually deal with it. I'm very concerned about the things that have come out of the ministerial task team on the business model or the operating model of UNISA, and subsequently the report of the independent assessor. So, in fact, it's quite a nice coincidence that these issues surface in the very same year as we are celebrating 150 years, so that we are able to say we have to address this, so that we rescue this legacy of 150 years, and also to ensure that UNISA exists for another 150 years. So that is why we actually have got to address this. Yes, I'm concerned about a number of things as contained in the report, not least what some of the students are raising, a poor pass rate, for instance, and so on, and the necessity of UNISA to focus on its core mandate. Teaching, learning, research, community outreach. Those are the things that are very important. So it's not a problem for me that we are having these reports as we celebrate 150 years.
Well, it didn't quite sound like that, but when you say address, how? I think it's at the point at which many would say it's a crisis, and what is happening at a practical level, daily work, are there work streams that have been established to actually resolve this problem before reaching collapse? You said it's too old to fail.
Yes, it's too old to fail, this institution. I'm aware that there is some work that continues to be done at UNISA, some of which is beginning to address some of the problems that have been identified. But immediately now, I've got to respond to the report of the ministerial task team, the independent assessor, as well as look at the response of the UNISA Council, including the response of the Vice Chancellor, as well as comments from members of the public. When I published the Gazette, they decided to state their own views. And the sooner I do that, the better, but at the same time without overlooking or without paying particular attention to the report in its detail, as well as the responses in detail. So I hope not long from now, I will be able to pronounce on what is to be done.
Okay, no, that's fine. We'll wait with, much anticipation.
You're waiting, please celebrate this milestone.
You can celebrate, but
yes,
at the same time, it is obviously it has a cloud over it. So maybe bittersweet.
Yeah, but there's nothing which stops us from celebrating. When I was consulted, as I said, Minister, should we celebrate in the light of these reports? I said, precisely. We must celebrate so that we remind ourselves that we have to address the issues in those reports so that UNISA continues to play its role.
The sooner the better, hopefully, Minister Blade Nzimande there. Of course, celebrating 150 years, but saying we can also still talk about the challenges, not really detailed about the work that is being done currently to resolve the challenges that have been unpacked by that independent assessor's reports, by the ministerial task team looking into the issues here, and basically the concerns that were also raised by the students that you've spoken to, Dudu. But again, we'll have to wait. It seems like the minister is treading a very thin line and trying to be careful here insofar as his response to my very pointed questions. And hopefully at some stage the level of reporting in terms of the negativities around this institution will really actually stop once the situation has been resolved.
Okay, Ziyanda, Ngcobo, thank you very much for that report.